Good morning everyone. This is Devi from Little Hearts Publications. Today I am going to deal EVS for class 5, lesson 6, the world of animals. Okay? In this lesson we are going to discuss about sense organs, okay, and useful animals, and also how people depend on these animals and protection of wildlife. How should we protect the wildlife? Okay? Yes. Now we are going to discuss about, like us, animals also have sense organs, right? Because they have the same body parts which we have. Yes. But the sense organs are useful to know about their surroundings. Okay? Sense organs. And what is use of these sense organs? To know the surroundings. To know the surroundings. Yes. Okay. So, these animals use the sense organs to locate food. So, what is the use of these sense organs? To locate food and to sense danger, and the next one is protect themselves. Protect themselves. These are the main things why these animals use the sense organs, or what is the purpose the sense organs are used by these animals. Yes. So, first one, actually what are the 5 sense organs? Eyes, okay, I will write here. Okay. First one we will see about sense of smell. Sense of smell. So, how can animals sense the smell? Which sense organ is used? That is nose, isn't it? Nose is the sense organ which helps the animals to smell the surroundings, or smell an animal, or smell a particular area. Yes. So, dogs have a strong sense of smell. If you take an example of a dog has strong sense of smell. Okay, it's very strong smell. Yes, you might have observed how a dog in your house, when any particular person or something comes, first it uses its nose to smell a particular person's smell, and next time when you go again, it will identify you, isn't it? Which they use to locate food and sense the danger. So, this strong smell, it is used to locate the food and sense the smell also. Okay? Yes. Smell and find the danger. Yes. So, here they are used in rescue operations. Rescue operations. In movies you might have seen, no, this rescue police dogs or dog squad will bring few dogs to identify the smell of the victim here, isn't it? In that way they are used to rescue the operations. And here, because of their amazing sense of smell, they are used in this operations. And also ants. Okay, ants smell with their antennae. What are antennae? For example, if this is ant, it has few legs, right, like this. It has some front 2 parts which can move using, okay, like this. They will be identifying. If you look at the cockroach, it has a big antennae, okay. Those are the antennae which help these ants to smell. And snakes and lizards keep flittering their tongue. Snake and lizard Okay, they both use their tongue. They'll be flittering always outside, right? Yes, flittering their tongues to convey scent particles in the air. Okay, scent particles in the air, and they will identify the place or to escape from the enemies. Okay, and the next one is sense of touch. If you see this picture, the dog is smelling the food which is given on the table, right? Yes. Next we will go to the sense of touch. Sense of touch, yes. So, look here in your textbook, page number 36. Page number 36, a picture is given here, a dog sitting in front of a aquarium. What is there in the aquarium? Fish. Okay, fish are present. So, cats and tigers can feel even in the dark with the help of their whiskers. You know, cats and dogs, tigers. Cats and tigers, they have whiskers. Whiskers means in the front of the mouth, upper lip, they have some long hair like this. Okay, they are known as whiskers. Okay, these whiskers help these cats and tigers to touch, sense of touch. Okay, yes, where they can feel even in the dark also, even at night. Even at night when their light is absent. Yes, and fish can feel the changes in the water pressure. Fish can feel the changes in the water pressure. Feel water pressure. Okay? Yes. So, with the help of these sense organs, along a line through their head and trunk. So, through the head and trunk, it has a small line like this, streamline we say. This line helps this fish to help feel the water pressure. Pressure means any changes in the water. The water is moving fast or slow or like that. Okay. And here bird's tongue. Bird tongue. Okay. Birds have tongue and a palate and bill. Palate and bill. What is palate? Inside the mouth, upper jaw, there is a small plate like, that is called as palate. Bill means beak. Okay. So, these all are most sensitive to the sense of touch. Okay. These all help them to sense of touch. They can feel the food, what kind of food it is, whether it is soft or hard or it is eatable or not. Okay. And next one is sense of taste. Sense of taste. Yes. Here bees and butterflies have taste receptors on their feet. Okay, bees and butterflies. Okay, they have sense of taste on feet. Okay, on their feet they have receptors here. Okay, they will send message to the butterfly. And a shark has groups of taste buds all around the inside of the mouth. Okay, and a shark has taste buds. Okay, the shark has taste buds full over the mouth, okay, and it can taste the food, yes, inside the mouth and also on the front of its snout also. Front of snout means like a nose part. Okay. And next one is sense of vision. Sense of vision. Yes. Here, look at the picture which is given here in page number 36. Yes. Here, these are eagles. Okay, eagles or hawks also. These eagles and hawks, mostly they fly up above the sky at a long distance. Even though they are flying at the long distance, they can see small objects which are on the ground. So, see how sharp their eyes are, means sense of vision is. Okay. Birds have a very keen sense of vision. Most of the birds have keen sense of vision. Keen sense of vision here. And here, birds like eagles and hawks. Eagles and hawks, this sense of vision, with the sense of vision they can easily locate the rats or its prey, means its food, okay, which is present on the ground by flying up in the sky. And owls can see. Owls mostly they will be active at night only. They can see well in the dark light also. See well in the dark light. In the dark light. Okay. And next one is nocturnal animals. What are nocturnal animals? Okay, they have best night vision. These nocturnal have best night vision, means they can see at night well, or they will be active at night. Okay, these include cats, mice, bats, owls, etc. So, these all animals they will be moving here and there at nights only. Cat will chase the mice or mice will be moving here and there. Bats will be flying at the night only mostly. Owl also it makes sound at night, isn't it? Yes. And next one is sense of hearing. Sense of hearing. So, hunting animals like tigers and leopards. Okay, tigers and leopards. So, tigers and leopards they hunt the other animals for food. Okay, they have remarkable sense of hearing. Remarkable sense of hearing. Okay, they can hear a small grass moving also like that. Okay, yes, they can even listen to the faint rustling made by the moving prey. Okay, faint rustling means when it's moves slowly without making sound also it can hear the sound. Yes, the ear bone in the head of snakes, the ear bone in the snake, it has a ear bone Okay, these ear bones help them to detect vibrations of the sound. Okay, detect vibrations of sound. Yes, and here that are conducted through the ground. See, when this ground is, when something is moving, the ground will vibrate. It will shake little when some object is moving. When small object is moving also, it can detect the vibrations of the prey. So, which helps to detect these vibrations? The ear bones in the ear of the snake. Yes. So, and also you know that snakes do not have external ears, only internal ears it has, a small holes which are present in the ears. Yes. Next one is bats. These bats can locate the prey by echolocation. Locate by echolocation. So, what is echolocation? Echo means when something, they make rapid high pitched sounds called ultrasounds. Okay, high pitched sounds called ultrasounds. So, when these bats make this high pitched sounds, the sound will move some distance, and if something is there in between, some obstacle is there, it may be a rock or it may be a tree or it may be something, it receives back the sound. So, with that it will identify that it should move away from that particular place. Yes. In this way, when they make this sound with the help of this nose or mouth, it can locate the thing by this echolocations. Yes. And next one is sleeping habits. What are the sleeping habits of different animals? So, all animals need rest and sleep, isn't it? Yes, rest and sleep. But do all the animals sleep in the same way? No. Different animals sleep differently. Dogs sleep with their eyes closed. For example, dogs close eyes and sleep. Okay. There are some animals, for example, cow sleeps with eyes open. Okay. Cows open eyes. They open the eyes and they sleep. It is different, right? Yes. Bats sleep hanging upside down. Bats. You might have seen bats, right? It will hang its legs up and put its body and head down. Upside down. Okay. And from the trees, and horses sleep while standing itself. They will not sit even. Horse stand and sleep. And dolphins sleep with one eye open. So, dolphin, they sleep with one eye open. Okay. So, these are the different ways of different animals how they take rest. Now, we will see useful animals and what do we get from these animals. Yes. We get many things from animals, right? Useful animals. Yes. So what do we get from animals? There are different animals, right? Cow, buffalo, hen, and pictures are given here. See, goat, snake, silkworm, sheep. So what do we get from these? We get milk from cows, buffaloes, sheep and goats, okay, and we get honey from honeybee, isn't it? Yes, and we get eggs from hen and duck also, okay, hens and ducks, yes, and we get meat from goats, and where do we get chicken? We get chicken from hens, and we get oil from fish. We get fish oil. Yes, we get wool from sheep, and also we get silk from silkworm. We know that silk moth, okay, and also leather from skins of animals. Leather from skins of animals. We get leather from snake, buffalo, camel, okay, and crocodiles also. These all, yes. So people who depend on animals, our next topic. Most of the people in olden days, they depend on animals, and few villages also now many people use different animals, okay. People depend on animals. There are many people who depend on animals for their livelihood. Yes, many people depend on different animals for their livelihood. So, some of these animals are snake charmer. Snake charmer. So, the snake charmer uses the snake and uses the charming madari and mahots. Also use the snakes to get some money, isn't it? Yes. And it is not wrong to use animals to earn living. So it is not wrong. Why? Because we are not hurting these animals. Yes. But it is wrong to keep them in cages or chains. So when it is wrong, if we should not keep in cages or if we chain them, okay, this is wrong to do. Yes. They are even beaten mercilessly. If you beat the animals, they also get hurt. How do we get? In the same way, isn't it? So we should not hurt them. In circus, you see, many animals are kept, isn't it? In circus, many animals are forced to do dangerous acts also. So it is very bad to do that, and so such things should be stopped. We should not force the animals to do those hard or dangerous activities. And next one is protection of wildlife. Protection of wildlife. So, how we are going to protect this wildlife? Wildlife means the animals which live in the forest, isn't it? So, many of these wild animals are killed. Means these animals are hunted by the hunters. Why do these people hunt these wild animals or wildlife? Because they get various things like fur, skin, this tusks of elephants, okay, bones, and still teeth and nails, Okay, like tiger nails they wear on for as ornaments. Okay, so different body parts are collected from these animals by hunting them, and they are sold for more cost. So they can use the animals only for livelihood, but they should not kill them. It is very wrong. Such illegal hunting or killing or capturing of wild animals for their body parts is called as poaching. Okay, this is known as poaching. Yes. So, and the people who kill these animals are called as poachers. Okay, poachers. Now, such animals are said to be endangered. The people who are killing particular animals like tigers, elephants for tasks continuously, these animals come into endangered animals. Why these are called as endangered animals? As their population is becoming less, they are known as endangered animals. If they are being killed like this, and the rate of these animals will be becoming less, and these animals will be disappearing day by day. So, and then these endangered animals become extinct. What is the meaning of extinct? As this population is becoming less, endangered means the life population of these animals is becoming less. So, if this population is also being killed again, we can't find any particular animals like a tiger or elephant again further in the future generation. They are fully killed. Then those animals come under extinct animals. So, some of the endangered animals are given in the textbook page number 38. So, what are the pictures which are given here? Tiger, musk deer, elephant, rhinoceros and bear. These are the some examples of animals which are endangered. So, what should we do to save these animals? We need to protect our wildlife. So, how can we do this? We can do this by setting up national parks. Okay? National parks. We should build national parks and also wildlife sanctuaries. Wildlife sanctuaries. So, wildlife sanctuaries are like a zoo, but it is a place where open forest is there which is surrounded by some wall, so that the animals are not sent outside, but it is like a artificial forest where animals can move freely there. So, by stopping others from killing the animals and putting a ban on the sale of products obtained by these endangered animals, we can save this wildlife. So, with this we completed the lesson, and you go through the lesson and complete the exercises which are given in page number 39, 40 and 41. 39, 40, 41. Worksheet will be sent through WhatsApp. Thank you.